Bit of a delay getting back to this. I've just been interrupted halfway through recording the video and asked to put my top on in a beer garden at a pub at 11 o'clock in the morning in the fucking blazing sun. Apparently this is a family pub and I, being topless, will offend all of the people that aren't actually here at all, because I am literally the only customer in the place. You just can't make it up. I apologise if my top half in the sun is offensive to families that aren't here. Anyway, moving on. So as I said, I did my last 9 months in Edmund's Hill. I started off in an art class. I just wanted something pointless, easy, quiet, so that I could just, quietly finish off my time. It was okay. I met a guy who I became pretty good friends with. It was a bizarre coincidence, really. He was from Hazelmere, also a long way from home, and I've lived in Hazelmere a few times in the last sort of 25-30 years, so we had that in common and we got on. His name was Fergus. He had Asperger's, but he was one of those with a serious amount of intelligence to go with his condition. He was a nice guy and we got on, and that killed some of the time that I waited to before I was released. The prison itself, it was okay. It was kind of quiet. I didn't have a huge amount of visits there because I don't like dragging people halfway around the country to see me. My then girlfriend, who became my son's mother, used to visit me there with her firstborn, really not many other visits. I just thought, look, let's all just wait, I'm coming home soon. So and things in that prison went relatively smoothly for me. I couldn't get a job in the gym, which is why I went into the art class. Then I decided to have a go at training to be a barber. I thought maybe I could use that post-release. I lasted about 3 days in there. I actually found that I don't particularly like touching men's heads or hair, so I left and went back to the art class. I did meet a female prison officer who I went on to meet up with after I was released. Again, I wasn't putting myself out there at all, but she made it very clear that she was interested, and I was coming to the end of a long sentence, so I went along with it. I met up with her a couple of times, the rest is history. I guess probably the biggest thing that I remember in terms of irritation and ridiculous was that about 4 weeks before my release from prison, I was called to the senior officer's office on the wing, and he sat me down and he said, we've had information that you are bullying people for Subutex. And I mean that of all the things over all the years, that is one of the big ones, really, because I can honestly say I've never even seen Subutex. I know what it is. I've been in prison long enough. I know what people do with it. I've never physically seen any. I've never been involved with it. And I said to this guy in the office, look, your information is fucking ridiculously wrong, but you're entitled to believe what you want to believe. I said we'll solve this very quickly and easily. the block is just over there opposite the wing. I'll go and pack my stuff now, and I'll do the rest of my sentence in the block. That way you can't have any doubts about the fact that I have never been involved in Subutex, and certainly never been involved in bullying people and taking it from them. At the time I was doing a bit of double bubble on tobacco, but I was not involved in drugs in any way. I'm not a drug taker. Like I say, I've never been involved in Subutex or pre-gabs or PGs or whatever else goes on in prison. That's for other people to fuck about with. The officer said, no, it's fine, don't do that, but I'm just giving you a heads up that we're watching you. And I said, mate, watch me all you like. It's just, you're going to be bored. I go to the gym, I run around the exercise yard, I bang up. But help yourself, whatever you think's right. And it was left at that until about a week before I left jail and was released. Called into the office again, exactly the same conversation. And I just said, right, look, let's take this a step further. I am going to pack my stuff right now, and I'm going to stand by the wing door and demand that you put me in the block. I said, I've got a fucking week left in prison. I've done 8.5 years. This is bullshit. You probably know it's bullshit. You're just trying to dig me out for your last little pound of flesh. Again, he said, no, it's fine. I don't believe you're involved. I said, well, why are we sitting here then if you don't believe it? He said, well, I have to react to what's been said and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, okay, you've reacted. Listen, take me to the block. I don't care. I'm going home. I don't care where I spend my last time. I'm already in a place I don't want to be in, so what's the difference? Anyway, we left it at that, and I was released, not from the block, but from my cell on the day. I had to, it's bizarre really, I had to get a sweatbox back to High Point from High Point North, because they don't actually release people from High Point North, or they didn't then. So I had to be strip searched in reception at High Point, chained up, put on a sweatbox, driven for 10 minutes, chained up again, taken off the sweatbox, and finally delivered to reception at High Point, where I was released from about 4 hours after I arrived there. And yeah, I guess that was the main event of me being in Edmund's Hill. And the last memory I have of that sentence is it took a long time for them to release me. There were a lot of people getting out that day, and some of them were just going fucking batshit in the holding room. I was just sitting there quietly. Eventually my time came. I think there were about 25 people being released that day, and I was probably about 22nd, 23rd. They walked me to the gate, and I saw standing there my daughter and her mum, which was really nice. I knew they were coming to get me, and I felt shit because they probably had to sit there for hours waiting, but yeah, it was a nice memory, really nice. So yeah, that is the story of one of the times I was thrown out of a prison for security reasons, and the consequences of being chucked out. I can talk some more about other instances of me being removed from a jail. You just have to ask me, I guess. If you make some comments and there's some specific topics you'd like me to give you the benefit of my experience about, I'm happy to do that. Just leave comments and I'll pick them up at some point and go from there. Okay everybody, I hope you have a great day, and I hope if you want to, you're allowed to take your top off in the sun. Ciao.